street, Ivan.
Okay.
Hardship in Ghana.
Yeah.
Is it due to external factors and I say incompetence?
That's very interesting. I think that Ghana is a sovereign state. Yeah, Dutch and Yashabrin in Asha Yankasa Yansa. Into Oshabran or Dutch and Eshawunsa. Nase Okodru baby now to say you are choking under the weight of your own decisions and what taking over the years. I'm not sure you can blame external factors. Say Obi ena ama wakakudru obi wakakudru no. We are largely responsible for whatever that is happening under this particular current dispensation. The country is reeling in economic mess. There is nowhere to survival as a country. And the prospect may look very bleak when the president himself and people who are the policy table, no, and at this point, Omajiatum said, Babia, or my number bedruno, Yaquachim. And that there is the need for us to go back to the drawing board and re-strategize and review situation, events, and what actually went wrong. So I think we can't blame anybody. So we'll be responsible for external factors, be responsible for the kind of worse economic mess. We are solely and largely responsible for whatever that is happening to us as people and as a country. The various reckless decisions. The last time I was telling somebody, say, I did a friend failure. I can't say I bring a pema. And yeah, miracle, say, a conscious decision, like constant reckless decisions are what take you for a long time. And then you be result in where we are. Baby Ababedru, yes, I sympathize with Ghanaians and everybody say, unfortunately, no, we are all sinking. Baby Ababedru, so we have various decisions, economic decisions, reckless spending, and now Baby Ababedru, the ordinary Ghanaian, now only part of those reckless decisions so far. You have no other option than to sympathize with Ghanaians. So I just think the president and then a few individuals or more aligned to him or more responsible for whatever that has happened, and anka ego or more sink here, then we show them no sympathy because your more or more decision they don't withdraw. But unfortunately, no, they are sinking with the fortunes and the economic future of several other Ghanaians, and that particular reason, you know, we have to just sympathize with them and hope say we'll be able to turn the situation around. Me say a miracle never be through her. Decisions are man for Binuma take. So Obe catch say never be do. Yes, it's true say you never tighten your belt and see the way forward because the fact that mess has been created no doesn't mean say Yankasa we are going to throw our hands in air and do nothing. We all want to come to the drawing board now how we can turn the situation around. But let us remind ourselves say because at the way started here, we talk about it. There is a government that is telling us here and tighten your belt at this particular time and name them. Don't forget, quite recently, managers, people who are in charge of this particular economy, were out there spending recklessly, borrowing on a borrowing spree. Sika no oji etu omofo a obi enu obetie o minus omoya den no na ya tam sika na da kwakọ han ya luple ne da babisi ha say ye etu kwanya the amount of money that we pay for all these things ni nyina ka ho be na babedu ha. Corruption akoso okroma over the years in the last 5 years. Bisa ho say de ba na yetimi ayafa ho. We've been complaining over the years about that level of corruption akoso okroma say sika eye compact 2 asenka yenya somewhere around 90 million Ghana dollars asenka eba kroma say because of PDS nema boni akoso sasika na hwere yen and some make us me enumerate corrupt practices in corruption akoso okrom ha ni nyina ka ho bi na dia babedu abi ababeduri. And over the years clearly you see say people at the corridors of powers and show any readiness to say you're turning the situation around. What has happened? People feel they are sitting in their comfort zone. And anywhere the mirror now has persons who are responsible for all these decisions. And they're Ghana, your cronies and friends and family members of the president. And they feel so comfortable in their seats that that's why your president, Ebusi and Intino, said me taking decisions going out know the day. I knew into the benefit of Ghanaians. And I said, damning consequences on the prospect, on the economic prospect of this particular country. I know the day, what is the worst that can happen? After all, I'm a president Busiani. So he has created a comfort zone for these individuals. Because I was telling somebody, said, Ghana is a very serious country. Yede mraya juma na ya adwen say ye pebibi achieve in the future. Somebody like Kenneth Oriata will not still be masquerading around town calling himself finance minister, looking at the trajectory or the economic path of economic misery I witnessed over the years relative to reckless spending, reckless borrowing, as ikane yakoboa nyansa bia ni me aba ne ababehye no, because loan na yaji makase aban bia ni ho betimi akase onje bosia yaje bosia ba woje bosia na idea na wode bosia na ye the Atuabo gas way one of the largest investment that particular investment, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the loan was a concessionary loan, pay for Nema Benye film because Nekofa gas from Nigeria pipeline na the bar and Fibo Ebeki and Krakomaya Semno, and then we are not taking that particular thing because a certain money be a kwaji I invested and now we are getting a hot now we're taking loan now what they. But I want to say, Busiana Yabo in the last 5 years is the largest in the history of this particular country.
220 billion Ghana cedis.
Was it
220 billion Ghana cedis?
Exactly, no. Because I want to say, again, yet me, because about one single portfolio, investment portfolio, because in the next 10 years, Ghana for being a Jumadi firma, there is nothing about me about and I yet him. So you hear say, Jabosia, but Bosiano too, and yet, hospital cry, Casan Kebe, who say, hospital, Hano. The health minister eba parliament or so was chief compound district hospitals are there no kekan na se for no besi na yenyan hu bi okola na ye hospital ha ye adwuma ye kobugu ye say ye ba besi edi hospital 2 years ni kola bad na ko ha de bi so mo say general hospital over the years na serve am for na wo he because Accra elementary person while rising to a position of become a leader no onim say OC hospital ye mungu and say nesi fufro but rather you create space build a new one udu stage bi na say obe collapse the other one and now why but we there ye the we caterpillar na say for ye flatte the land 2 years in here all about now yare no pa just ye do ko ba difference na wanya healthcare enti bosiana yaje no e de ben ye dia that is the thing and investors are aware they are privy to all these things Ghana trajectory na monam is very dangerous. About a week ago Bank of Ghana had a debt to a GDP by somewhere around 81 ababia agency CIA a debt portfolio no, which means that we are sinking, we are swimming in a pool of huge debt, and no, a darken your prospect in the long term, in the future. So all these things, you know, because I don't think that sorry, and things turn out to be this particular way. And but constant reckless decisions and people take Abraham take decisions. You know, we will understand telling them say decisions now mu taking and in the end, you know, it will result in all these things. And now here we are, and this is a country who has who has some of the reasons of what they're about to turn things around that. Look at the size of government. The individuals are doing machine, and you think that the kind of mess we have created. And the solution is ministers ever slash almost salary by 20% and another 30%. But who says a council of state almost reduce by 30 or 20%. You see, the business. I have always argued, say. A council of state and the relevance necessary within this particular landscape by me. Yes, I understand, say, or more advice president and as a forum. But we had a tragedy from 2018 to end. Various reckless decisions in terms of say Bobosia and Yamana Abina ye tunu for Ghana for number how many a high jet and in the mu Sansem Huna ne Kosunino cancel bank and Modema Abino. So they just sat aloof and watch on because they were drawing fat salaries. Some were giving cars and stuff. And this I'm paying for him for a titular woman to me say these are people with enough insight into life. I'll bet me I cannot crash it buying for what kind of counsel were they giving to the president by the time he was going on that particular tangent, wasting and just throwing our monies away. Council of State no more advice Ben on the president no they were comfortable sitting aloof because salary and not just that level of staggering hypocrisy yenina ya team again say obiaba that person they will deserve to be president and for that matter whatever that he does you know yan kan ho asem And it's the same trend. Okay, so far in the past, no more the day chastising and bastardizing government, engaging in politics of invectives. Ye dear tell I can't some chara in the past, you know. That particular energy, no more the yes, I need money, you know, a crocodile, brand Akuffo Addo take over. So we had decisions are not all year, near no year in terms of family and friends. Just what that comes bear in or in your friend is saying wholesale form. Ultimately say a busian phone chowa and was so mogum a bus spending the size of government. Now our ministers ya point to a whole lot. Just what means what to us when you're inclined to governance and leadership. But clearly you could see say certain individuals were taking foolish decisions. You expect Council of State and people who matter in society to speak wisdom to the president. They all decided to take a back seat, sat aloof and watch these events to play out. And now this is the result. Now some bedroom mess here, we will 20% and not 30% salary cut now over cut, and can it turn the situation around? Because we are talking about an economy that has been downgraded by almost all the reputable financial firms and investment organizations around the world. Fitch, your friend is saying, and other your friend is saying rating agencies. Or when you not downgrade here, and you think you as a council of state would take salaries by 30% in this situation, or when you not contribute to the kind of mess I yet men, they are largely responsible. The so-called mind be able who sustain bad governance for a very long time. The people are either accomplices or sponsors. Because here now, and we are betting the government to commit this heinous economic crime against the people of Ghana. And politics na that kind of tribal, your friend saying orientation na and assume CDN wo free ha, we ya ni, we ya tani, we say audio mind so. And that particular kind of tribal orientation, and also can want drive you to where we are. Because there are certain individuals, they come with this, your friend say, entitlement mentality that there is this ethnocentric supremacy cast that a man for play or we look for ness or mubu my way for no so we are president and we a leader now from other part of the minority group now but they see say and this is we are president and for whatever reason they will do everything to against you, make sure say you fail. Now on the other side, the media who had the role some of them played in the past, chastising and bastardizing government and energy and that's why yet me infuse you into this particular government at the early stage. Now you catch the government and say and never na no ya criticizing na ye two no na Ghana for say or morning you mutu no man call you know. You don't have to go there.
But over the years, I say for their first term, they were using it to clear Mohammed's mess.
Okay.
And a COVID-19 so didn't hold as a Russia-Ukraine war, so and then we should bear with them and then understand them.
You see, one thing I have always been telling people, and they say weak people don't accept responsibility. People who are weak, they always blame others. So they expect contrition from everybody except themselves. Obia enye papa, or esa wo ya de papa, wo bi say almost na where. So weak people always blame others. This is a government that in the last 5 years, in blaming his predecessor, so are largely responsible for your friend say mess or no nemu. The no be say in the last 5 years, and idea na why say previous government create mess. You were campaigning at the back of that particular mess.
Okay.
So you were a better alternative. You are coming to turn the situation around. You don't come and complain. And yet, your friend is saying, Joe Biden, there are a lot of things that Donald Trump, but I better one who's what takes the center stage. And the focus, then the way you know, your friend said, Trump. Whenever you hear that, you see that person is a failure. He has no plan. He has nothing to turn things around. And for that matter, no, happen on this particular usual politics, NDC, MPP, because that is, whenever they flip in Mahama, the supporters will take it. Oh, Mahama is largely responsible. But Abambena, only Nyansa, what taking about Akumia for 5 good years, and after 5 years, you will still blame your predecessor. And the 5 years in that man, and now you see, the reference point has always been in this. The cedi is depreciating. Instead of them to find reasonable solution to it, they will tell you, say, NDC pencil depreciating by this amount, and that is their justification. Then we begin to ask ourselves, power na the man for so ben also. If it is about, say, comparing yourself to Mahama, whom you tag as an incompetent person, and the competent person, oh, yes, taking any power, so you're incompetent. You know? You see, these are things people are not asking, and it's because of the kind of politics that we do. Politics, politics, and it is about emotions. We are driven by this tribal prejudices. Yede ya santifo, yede ya bonofo, yede ya wanafo, yede ya pepefo, hane ya tuabako. So that kind of tribal prejudice and orientation, na ya want to drive ye ma ye de. Enti adwene nipa betena say analyze the situation. Say Akuffo Addo Ivan, this is a man why did for about 20 years and on the sidelines of a president. Enti Oba a master plan ben and all day ba betene the country around. Now our plan mpodie because obi our plan no ma at the maiden edition of your friends say address to your country unko we obi speech imagine how mekan and obi we obi speech our kind na not den crash and nipa na the original author of that particular way the conhuntini be citizens no way go and watch nipa na kind the original way no and at the maiden edition of a president wako we obi speech it means that you never had a plan because me the president na my ededesian to aba mamea na say may address people at my maiden edition. You don't even need a script. You just look right at the faces of your people. You speak to their hearts. Say, problems now, here I am. We work it together to turn the situation around. You inspire people as a leader. You give them hope from your heart. You don't go and steal words and come and present it to them. It means that one case you never had a plan. And from that time now, we are speech in the scene. Then play out in the president never had a plan because speech we are crime. Do you know that? Because Papaya or U.S. President and Joe Biden in 1988. Na House Judicial Committee in the US. No, chairman, a young guy around 40 to 44 years. Now he was on a lead to become a Democrat or more presidential candidate. Clearly you could see he was going to win. Joe then was a very young, intelligent man. Obi US, everybody was yearning for him, and Democrat, and definitely he was going to be president. Unfortunately, no okojina platform so and oko plagiarize obi asem obi aka na okokan that particular textual infidelity now committee on the stage a cramble the whole political career at the time. So he had to leave for obi another candidate defend the caucus on the contest here Emma Republicans and also the George Bush papa ne buy omokoto abani we na George Bush papa when that particular election. So speech na so ko we speech no that particular thing Emma Joe Biden, your president, in the whole presidency in 1988, as I'm called president, a crash here. Obama a revival in the political career when in 2008, Okafa said Joe Minimo, Liama Wayena, Eti Branabayeme, the vice president, Ordinary Koto Abana Owene, and then he revived his fortunes, rose to prominence, and then Onona Wayabe president. So Krama Obi Akometia. Accosting so dearly his entire way. No, that is what Akuffo Addo committed at the maiden edition of his address to a nation when he was just supposed to look into the eyes of the people and speak to their hearts, inspire them to gather the nation together. Let's all work together to achieve a common purpose. You know, he never had a vision. Patapana made the president, and they won it him. He never had any master plan.
Someone who had a plan for free SHS. Yes. One district, one factory. Yes. One village, one dam. Yes. NAPCO training. Yes. Bakwikra planting for food and agriculture.
Yes. You see, these are the political narrative. They always want to inspire people with mere words, but in terms of actions, they had no plan. Free SHS, you know. So far, your constitution, article, your friend said 25 clause 1B. A hundred framers saw the need said, "Tab, my ubetum power education." So there is a need for us to ensure that everybody will have access to education, and there must not be any impediment. And one of the impediment that impede people from having education is sika. So the framework said, "Say, you making sure so be able access to education." The objective of that particular clause is yes, you school free. The objective is say obi able access to education, and the vehicle ide benyo oyebema obi anya access to that particular education is say free. What I say? So the objective is Ghana need be all year school going age, be access to education. But because of the difficulty into the vehicular constitutional framework, the proposal say a bit achieve that you're free. So the objective is everybody having access, and the vehicle to realizing that is what? Making it free. Do we a president now banners or we implement such a constitutional, your friend saying prescription, they are too than that. At least at the back you sit and have a plan. Nana Akuffo Addo in the last 30 years, what can free researchers are saying, and Nanka expect the master plan to roll it out. Oba na the early stage na yeto to ho because ya promise Ghana for say oh ya be free researchers aba montino ya ba na de ya ba say be you enye you ya de ya to ho and then ya to ho teachers came out and were complaining. Policy makers in terms of education among for more year institutions when it come to educational policies and were complaining because you don't just roll out such a major policy you need to do a broader stakeholder consultation, engage people at the field, identify the challenges and what you intend to achieve with the free SHS. So the challenges now, you weave them into theories, and those theories will inform the policy choice, and that particular policy choice, and by informing the direction and the objective, then you have a master plan. So in the next 10 years, this is what we intend to do. So at the end of the day, at the early stage, what can we do? Because of the economic challenges now, and so we implemented such a policy. You don't just look at today. You project your mind into the future. Unforeseen circumstances, economic challenges that are likely to erupt. You factor all these things and then you roll it out. So in rolling out at the early stage, you might be having all these things lurking on your mind. Say these challenges are possible. So at the early stage, you don't just throw it bam. You rather do this step by step. I can sit here and tell you, say, Ghana, I know be any here free researchers at the early stage. At the early stage, you'll be any here. So as a government, is your job to prioritize. Now we hear a review of this economic status of household. You identify householder or here free researchers, those who have to pay half and those who have to go all. What I say at the early stage, because you are not sure. It's the reason why the constitutional framework can say in progressive fashion. So we identify those who don't need it at all. Because Obi Oye CEO of Cocoa Board, Obi Oye Minister of State, your friends say Obi to say Kwame Despite, Obi to say Cas Benden as if we can just send here free researchers. So you categorize these individuals into a particular, your friends say into one group, and the middle class people who take salary and as a form at least they are a better way to do with or more you can give them 50% to they pay 50 and government will pay 50, and then then we go free. So I know the day that particular space we're creating will give government opportunity to at least plan, give our classrooms, invest in tertiary education, because free researchers na free researchers no more. They are supposed to go to tertiary. Now buying what is tertiary back up. The amount for CC that and I change din ye nam for near bush and 14 so. Now question will be or just already a war if an war on what that. Bedru Sunday and on a man for Addo and Nase or suggesting names among from Fantomba. One of the own will be but or dear or the mouth fatoba. That will be answer under Kowin or the Edin Tuna. That is the kind of attitude of woman. So free researchers and a young planet, thank you a planet and run out in a systematic manner, make Kaya. And Kayan Konya situation and crying a Bimbako green, a Bimbako gold. And Kabimbako do classroom, that's Yano Massiamba. A Bimbako, a Diana, a Bidikronu Munibi. And now look at the challenges are insurmountable. We are sound